Whoa. Am I getting the tube of mockery because I'm on my phone?
No, I just have the tube of mockery in my hand.
All right, everybody ready?
Who brings us the tube of mockery this year?
Honda.
The tube of mockery.
Honda. All right, tube of mockery.
Sponsored by Honda. All right, if we're all ready, here it comes. As soon as I get there, welcome to E1R Racers, a podcast designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. Whatever kind of La Champ or track dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate. We even think you Drifto, Hella Flusho, Fly in you Plano, Supra, living in a trailer park guys are all right, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of low buck racing, and if you can handle it, Chrissy might give you just the tip. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
And we are E1R Racers. Thanks for coming back and listening to another super duper episode of our podcast. This is...
You had a week and that's what you get, super duper?
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
This is for you. This is episode 39er.
Nice.
And we're so close to 40. It's so exciting.
I know. So, Chrissy, what are you working on?
So this weekend we did an HPD at Summit Point, which was fantastic. Chris and I did a live show. If you didn't check it, it's on the Facebooks. We did it on Saturday night. We talked about what happens in an HPD format, how we did, what's going on, and we did that on Saturday night in front of the Honda. So hopefully you should check that out. Go ahead, Mental.
In front of the Honda where?
Oh, we're getting there.
I can't. What?
Okay,
Okay. All right. Mental's not in his normal spot, so he can't read the notes. So just wait for it. Okay. So if you didn't watch it, which you should, I'll tell you how it goes. It went awesome. Saturday was awesome. Hella hot. Track was hot, but lots of grip. I did 4 runs, improved on every one, had a great instructor. So Sunday it was cloudy. Then it rained. I don't usually take time in the rain, so I took some time in the rain. Me and 3 other cars went around very slowly, and then so I motored. And then I went a little faster. Fortunately, 7 Point has fantastic. The new pavement is awesome. So much grip. So
it was main track, right?
Yeah.
Main track, yep.
Main track.
And so much grip. I was out with Chris and thought I was going to die in the rain. And he was taking normal race line, not rain line at all. Pretty fast.
You didn't need to. The new pavement is not worn down enough on the dry line yet, so there's still plenty of grip on the dry line, so you can do that.
Yeah, the only problem that I had...
All the times I've been to Summit Point, I have never had a chance to run that main track. I think I've driven every track but.
Oh, I'm getting tired of it. Not kind of, but go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm in the same boat. I have probably been to... My very first race was at Summit Point. I've probably been to 15 races at Summit Point. Maybe not that many. And I have like 7 laps on Main. I have more at Jefferson.
That's crazy.
Which is very
Jefferson
sad.
is terrible.
That's sad.
But go on, Chrissy. Sorry, we don't have to go there.
Great. And also, actually, a quick thing. We in our classroom sessions, we did a lot and talked a lot about data. So we might have to do a data show sometime because I'm feeling totally into all of the data. Chris and I overlaid. This is not even in my notes. I'm sorry because I got excited about it. Chris and I overlaid our best laps, and we talked about our turns and which one where we were lacking. A little bit, I was over his best lap times in certain places, which was awesome. So it was really cool to see. It was awesome. So HPD was fantastic.
I think the phrase is you got served, Chris.
No, not really. It was like 2 turns. A couple turns.
Chris has no hubris. He's going to be okay with that.
It's fine. Okay, but yes, so as Mental suggested, we have a fancy new thing. The Honda, we sat and did our show in a new enclosed trailer. So Chris, let's talk about that one.
I would say one thing before then. We learned a fun top tip that I want to share with everybody. We've always had
top tip time.
Top tip. We've always had very bad problems with the fogging on the inside of the windshield on the Honda when it rains. Like we put a bilge blower in there. We've done all kinds of stuff. Rag on a stick.
Rag on a stick.
And we updated our rag on a stick.
Right. Like I was ready to put a windshield wiper on the inside of this thing. So
which has totally been a thing.
Yeah. But I read somewhere on the internet to rub shaving cream on the inside of the windshield and then buff it off. So right after it started raining, Chrissy and I were out there on my shift. It was raining, and the car was fogging up on the inside. So we brought it in, put it in the trailer so it wasn't out in the rain, dried off the windshield, applied some shaving cream that we'd brought because we knew it might rain, buffed it off, and then Chrissy went out in her shift in the rain, crystal clear.
Completely fine. I used the windshield wipers on the outside when I needed to because it's already rain next. Nothing on the inside.
So
totally.
Top tip. Give it a try.
Particular brand of shaving cream, or was it
This
shaving
was-
gel?
this was
specifically shaving cream.
It was
Crappy.
the white Barbasol, like cheapest one you could get kind of shaving cream. So
Nice.
anyway, that's the top tip. So we got a new trailer. I was been casually looking for a deal on an enclosed all aluminum trailer. Had to be all aluminum for a long time. They are quite rare, and there are never ever any deals to be had. I mean, trailers don't seem to depreciate, especially enclosed trailers. Or all trailers don't really depreciate until they're just scrap metal. Yeah, metal.
Well, and then aluminum ones, because when they do get scrap prices, people buy them and scrap them because they're actually worth a lot of money. So
Yeah.
Crashed
you're never-
aluminum
yeah.
trailer is still expensive.
Yeah.
So I've been specifically looking for an aluminum. If I was going to make the jump to an enclosed, because our open trailer is a 16-foot full steel deck open trailer. It is so useful. We use it not for cars, but like we'll bring home mulch on it or stuff from Home Depot. Or like they just load it up with a forklift. It is so handy. Right, tonight we
put
brought
a
a whole
tree
on it like that. After I felled a tree in the yard to make room for the new trailer, and I had to chop it all up, but I'll put it on the old trailer and bring it to the place. So it's been super handy. So if I was going to go to an enclosed, I wanted the benefit of aluminum. So the new trailer is an ATC trailer that is 20. It's a 20-foot box, not a V-nose, unfortunately. It is extended height, which makes it a little harder to pull with the aero load. But this is a really, really well-built trailer. Everything is aluminum, screwless exterior. The floors have been Linexed already. Everything's already been painted. It's got some cabinets on the top inside. It's got some hooks and all kinds of stuff. And it only weighs 400 pounds more than the 16-foot steel trailer.
So it's 4 feet longer.
4 feet longer.
And enclosed.
And enclosed, right.
And has all that crap on it.
And
400
One
pounds.
fifth of my trailer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, that's true.
So, and it was listed for about half of its new price, or even less than Jeff paid for his Black Magic trailer, just barely. And but unfortunately, I wasn't really able to negotiate on it because I saw it on Craigslist on Thursday, and I had brought the NSX to work, so I had to go look at it with the NSX, and that somehow limits your negotiating power.
That's not gonna help out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, this asshole's got an NSX. He's trying to knock me $300.
Yeah, we can't do that. Although it was already cheap, so.
Yeah, it's already half price. What kind of Texas D-bag are you going to show up and start trying to negotiate that for?
Right. No, it was in great shape. Like I just use it to haul around as like, one of those side-by-side off-road things that make no sense at all. We had one of those, I guess. So who knows? Anyway, so the next day went and picked it up. I actually did Habitat for work in the morning, and then in the afternoon I just went and picked the trailer up, brought it home. We loaded up the Pacific, and we headed to Summit Point with NASA. Like Chrissy said, I was instructing and running an HPD4. I had a really great student in an NB Miata and HPD1. He improved very nicely over the weekend. It's the kind of student you want to have. He actually listens to you most of the time, responds, and made nice improvements. So that was perfect. Earlier in the week, I finished up track prep for the Civic, did everything except for a rear alignment, which I just forgot to do, which I really should have done. Because when I started driving the track, I was like, wow, this thing is an oversteering monster in right turns. So,
yeah, it is.
No,
yeah.
Even when aligned,
no,
yeah, it is.
No, when it's aligned, it's just beautifully neutral. When it's the toe is out of whack on the side that got hit on, full throttle, it's still oversteering. No matter
Excuse me while I crack my knuckles.
Yeah, that's that.
No, it was the best.
Sounded
So anyway,
cracking my knuckles.
I did a real quick and dirty adjustment with the car with no tape measure, no nothing. I just towed in the left rear a little bit more and said, "Oh, let's try that." And
It was fine.
and it worked much better actually.
It was
so,
totally fine.
yeah. And once we got home, I took down that 30-foot pine tree in the front yard to make room for the trailer. It just needed a little bit of extra room.
So it is going on the side of the house?
Yeah, I did the measurements enough. I took
there.
out that one tree. I could do it. So I felled that 30-foot pine tree right between the houses there. It was great and done.
Was it
Perfect.
Little bit of a panic when it started to go? Oh, did I get it right?
No, it was perfect because I tied a bunch of ratchet straps. I got pretty far up to it with a ratchet strap, tied that to another tree a long way away with like 3 long ratchet straps, like the big like construction ones. And then I had the wedge in the tree, they cut the wedge out of the tree, and on the back side of it, I had driven in a wood splitting wedge to push it the way I wanted it to go. So I had something pushing at the bottom, I had something pulling from the top. It threaded the needle right where I wanted it to go. It was perfect.
Now,
that should be like a picture of when a car guy cuts down a tree with ratchet straps and car tools being used for it.
Worked out great. What's up,
now,
Jeff?
did you have a conversation with your neighbor before you took it down?
No. We still haven't seen them.
You still haven't seen
okay. They've
They're
gone
away.
from No, they're around. We just haven't run into them.
You guys have a decent relationship with them. We talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I'm wrenching on a car, they come over. Hey, how you all doing?
Yeah, sometimes they bring us dinner. Yeah, I mean, it's they're gonna see a big trailer there now and a less tree.
It's been a busy week.
That is not the ugliest thing that has been in your yard.
No.
Although now
they're gonna be like, oh, where'd that come from?
I never realized how uneven that spot is now until that giant trailer is there, and we see how uneven the ground is. It has a solid list support because the ground does. So we are gonna have to level the ground out a little bit because it looks kind of ridiculous the way it's listing right now. So anyway. Lots of work done around here and lots to go this weekend. So, hey, Mental, what have you been working on except for hanging out?
Where the heck are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So our lovely listeners, you guys know that I teach high school Air Force Junior ROTC, and this week we are at the Cadet Leadership course at the beautiful campus of the Citadel here in Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm actually standing on the parade grounds using my phone.
So that's why you sound a
there it
little
is.
worse. That's why your quality is worse. But why do you sound a little worse for wear, even aside from the quality issues?
Well, yeah, I've been averaging about 3 hours of sleep a night. We have to, we're up at 4:30 getting these kids, and then we're going for runs, doing PT, marching them around. I have got a world-class golf tan right now. It ends right at the end of my V-neck shirt and the end of my sleeve. So yeah,
And
sunscreen.
this is the cleanest shaven, most well coiffed Mental that I have seen in a very long time since you retired.
You always catch me on weekends.
Catch on a weekend, exactly.
Yeah, and I had to get the hair back into regulations and a little bit before that because you got to set the standard for it. So I did that 2 days before I came down here.
Nice.
Right. Fantastic.
But I actually did car stuff before I got down here.
What?
So, yeah, we recorded. We told everybody we recorded on a Monday. The following Tuesday, I loaded up my 8,000-pound janky half magic trailer and drove down to Jacksonville to pick up on the Grassroots Motorsports, pick up that champ that we talked about. Turns out it was not on fire, then matched the title, and it comes with a good story. So it is now currently taking up the spot that my RV used to occupy in devaluing homes in my neighborhood as we speak. As it slowly marches across the periodic table.
How is Vicky with this? You not only have a crappy trailer, but you have a non-running bog-like car on top of the trailer. How does that?
Crappy trailer is in storage with RV, so it's just non-running tiny little car.
Oh, good. It's just the car.
So it's okay. She's not too upset about it.
I'm not going to give out her Instagram. But yeah, I got in late at night, so I left it parked on the street because I didn't want to back it up my driveway at 3:00 in the morning and scraping metal and all that other kind of stuff. So I waited until the next day, and I awoke to her Instagram tagging me in a photo of the car on the trailer with the hashtag "Please make it stop."
Yeah, I mean none of this is too surprising, but.
But then also Thursday, I got Project Tank Cat out to the SCCA Track Night America. So I got on the track at Atlanta Sports Park. Going to thank the Hongers. They gave me access to their garage that they keep there. So I had a place to throw all my crap. And I have badmouthed the SCCA before. They are turning it around. The Atlanta Region SCCA put on a world-class event. Everybody there was in a great mood. Everything went really, really well. They had some idiot in a Porsche Boxer cook his brake fluid into turn one and take it into the sand trap, but he had really good hair, so they let him get away with it. And then
maybe that person should actually get multiple.
I tried the Porsche brake fluid, and the lesson I got to take from that one is they were starting to get a little spongy. So I was taking a cool down lap, came into turn one, and I could have saved it, but it would have been more dangerous. And like we were talking about, I just took the nice controlled off. If you've ever been at Atlanta Motorsports Park, turn one's a nice big long sand pit. I got the brakes pumped, got her slowed down, took a gentle off, drove around the edge of the sand pit, and then re-entered the track where I promptly took a very slow lap and exited. Chris?
A similar thing happened to me on my HPD 1 student. We're coming up to turn 1 at Summit Point. I got him doing turn 10 so well. He was doing 10 miles an hour more down the straight than he'd ever been doing before. So his previous brake point and brake pressure was no longer good enough. So we were coming up, and I'm sitting harder, and that wasn't enough. But we had talked about it earlier. What to do if it's not good? This is one of the first things we talked about. If something's not going to work, don't go off sideways. Go off straight. We looked for escape routes. And he realized it wasn't going to make the turn. He wasn't going to slow down enough because he just needed to push the brakes harder, really. But once he realized that, he just went straight off into the pea gravel. The car stopped in no time flat and then couldn't go anywhere, so he had to get pulled out. But he made the safe choice to go straight off.
Was this
my HPD student?
Yeah, you're an NB Miata, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just remember, make sure it was the same guy.
Yeah, but like you said, Mental, it's sometimes you just make the call that this is going to be safer just to go straight into the thing that's going to slow me down and suck it up, and you're fine. And then
Take the L. It's better than rolling.
And then we just laid gravel over the entire rest of the track on that lap. But
and then I had 2 more great sessions, and I think I actually ended up faster because I was actually turning faster. I was entering the main straightaway faster, and it goes back to that thing that we all talk about and we all tell each other to do, and we still don't do. We still need to be out there experimenting. You still need to be, okay, I'm going to try this. From relying on my brakes and got back to the art of driving smoothly.
All right, Mental, you were a little broken up there, so I don't know if that's you or me or what, but no problem.
I think it's you.
So, Jeff, what are you up to?
Well, this time, without even looking at my notes, I can tell you that I finished the Miata project.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So the suspension is all together. All the parts arrived. Rock Auto is amazing. Everything came in. I found the wobble bolt thing, but it didn't matter because I'd already installed the one that came in. But it's on its wheels. It's ready to go. But I still need a new battery. I still need windshield wipers. There's some odds and ends and things, But it's on its wheels. I can drive it. I took it out for its inaugural hoon, and I hooned the hell out of it for like an hour trying to get the battery up. The suspension is so much better than it was. I know. I wish I had done this. Damn it! I wish. Yeah,
it was like a poorly running co-op. It was the suspension earlier. Now at least it's.
I don't remember what you called it.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
it was a sitcom about geriatrics living in an active retirement community.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
It definitely needs an alignment and things, but just like a performance alignment, I have everything set at like 0. So anyway, I was hooning the hell out of it, trying to get the battery to come up and enjoying my new, just totally tossable Miata. And I took it to a Target, and I was going to toss it pretty hard in the parking lot and do some driftos around the place and, probably try and hit a pole because that's what you do, right? And I'm coming off like a highway, and I'm coming off way fast, and I like pitch it into the turn because it's Sunday night and no one's going to be there. And bam, there's an old lady in a beige car. And I'm like, 2 feet in, all 4 tires locked up.
Wait, it was that bad?
It was that locked it up, went straight like into her lane, all 4 tires like smoking. And I didn't really come close to hitting her, but she definitely had to like clean the seat because she peed a little, I'm sure. And
I would maintain she probably peed a little bit.
She peed. She definitely peed. Self. Yeah, so it's a camouflage Miata for those who haven't seen the pictures. I'm greasy as desert camo. And rust. I'm greasy as hell.
That's a color.
I'm still wearing like the t-shirt tied around my head like a pirate and safety glasses. I get out and I'm pushing my car out of her lane.
Wait, you didn't say why. Wait, so
because
it's
stalled.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't think you said that.
I'm pushing the car out of her lane so that she can exit the Target. And I'm like, oh, she's calling the cops.
Were you wearing the knee pads though?
I was probably. I'm sure I was wearing the knee pads. I'm like, she's calling the cops. So now the car is dead. It has a total flat battery. I'm like pushing it as hard as I can to get it away from like the mouth of the Target parking lot because if the cop just rolls by and sees me. So I'm like on my phone like because I just pushed the car like 100 yards. I'm like, Jen, come get me on the Target parking lot. It's stalled. She's like, you stalled? Just
bring
go
the
where
license plate so I can wear it.
Exactly. So she came and she got me. We jump started it. We got the hell out before the po-po arrived. And whether the lady probably didn't call, she was probably, like you said, laughing at me. But either way, it is totally fun. I love it. If it had a battery that I would start, I would probably be daily driving it because it's that much fun. But it is still going to go to my dad as soon as I need to pick up a pair of cheap seats and get some DOT legal like harnesses on it, because the seatbelt retraction is just still not consistent enough, and I won't track or daily drive a car with seatbelts that may or may not work. Mental, what you got?
We even think you Drifto Hella Flush guys are okay as long as you built it yourself and have a battery to start the car.
Exactly. Well,
Yep.
oddly you say that. We're going to talk about some Drifto Hella Flush guys who gave us a weird battery in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just go.
So,
why don't you roll right into that, Jeff?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
So, you know that we have been shopping for a 300ZX.
We've been
shopping.
No, hold on. We've been shopping for other race cars. We've been looking at other things.
We've been looking at a bunch of stuff.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm so excited.
So there was the yellow 300ZX that I believe Chris said was painted by a blind child. It had been disassembled by the previous owner, so he swore it run like before he disassembled it. I don't remember.
Just needs fuel pump. Just needs fuel pump. It all just needs fuel pump.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, he said he took off the injectors. I don't know why you would take off the injectors, whatever. So I had been texting that dude and emailing him, and he basically had it up for $1,300. I told him I was a cash buyer, and he started negotiating trades with me. Like the opposite of what you want. You know what I mean? Like, aren't you sure you don't have a broken Xbox or a U-boat trade me? I'm like, U-boat? And I believe Chris did it.
He's asking if you're on a college campus, hey man, could you just give me some weed?
Yeah, what do you got? Like, and I was like, no.
Cash is tradable, right?
I
give you cash and you get anything for cash.
Chris said it best.
Way
I
too
have
confusing.
10 pictures of George Washington that you can take or
do something else with it.
Money can be exchanged for goods and or services.
Exactly. So he was a flake, and I was like, hey, I'm buying this thing anyway because I don't know. A car that doesn't run, to me, is just too big of a risk. So Chris texted me another Craigslist ad, and I talked to the guy a few times, but I had Cub Scout camp and a few other things, so I never really committed to going to get it or going to look at it. It was also down in Baltimore, just about an hour and 45 minutes away. And Sunday night, I'm driving home from the Cub Scout pack with my son in the car, and he says, dude, you still want my 300ZX? $900. Come get it.
No. You scored. Now, is it?
This is not the yellow one. This is a different one.
It's a black one.
It's a black one.
I think you scored a running Z. It's a Z32. Is that generation, right?
Yeah.
Z32.
You scored a running Z32 for sub $1,000.
Yeah.
1992.
Give yourself a high five.
I know. I'm very excited. It is not yellow, but
now Jeff can explain why.
Yeah, so all of the regular Lemons car tropes in our effect, right? Let's go down the list. Is it shitty? Yes. It has major lifter tick. It sounds like this when it's running, okay?
Yep, it does.
Does it have a clean title? No, it's rebuilt. It's a rebuilt title. The car was red at one point. It is now black and silver.
Like rattle can or roll on?
No, it was definitely
decent actually.
Yeah, decent paint. It's actually in much better shape than the yellow one was. Was it previously owned by Hoons? Yes. I love these guys. They actually were pretty fun. One of them's name was Dathan. I can't remember his friend's brother's name. I'm trying to remember.
Also Dathan.
Right, no, it wasn't. Gosh darn, I can't remember his name. But Dathan, like Nathan with a D. in some sort of modular home. Like
it was a modular home.
These guys have eaten some liquor ball sandwiches. All right. They just watched the Trailer Park Boys and they think it's a documentary, but they were great guys.
Like, I know that guy.
Exactly.
That's my house.
One of them may or may not have had grills, but they were good guys. They definitely had a favorite vape flavor. I didn't ask. But anyway, yeah. So they flat brim hat. They weren't wearing hats. I'm sorry. So they were good guys. They were like, look, here's the deal. We do Supras. And he pointed over and he had a bunch of 3rd gen Supras. And that's what we're working on. And we love this car and it was great. And then it clicked and we're like, we ain't got time for this. So let's get rid of it. They were desperate to get rid of it because one of them may have had a court date coming up. I'm not sure. I didn't get the full. I got the full. I'm not trying to call him out on the air. So yeah, the trip was untimely because I within 12 hours had to call out of work, me and Jim. It was adventurous. I didn't even have a truck. I had to drive to Reading to borrow the truck. I had to drive it home in torrential downpours.
Wait. So the tow pig is back on the road?
No, the tow pig is not.
He came to get ours. We drove home Sunday night with the enclosed trailer, dropped the enclosed off in the pouring rain in the driveway, hooked up the open trailer, put that on the street so that when Jeff showed up, he could take the open trailer and the Suburban and go get the Z.
And we have discussed 422 as being the worst road on the planet. We've all talked about that. So I'm taking it on 422, and it is raining like Noah's freaking Ark. I get on the road. I get on the Schuylkill, and I get home, and I'm like, just not worrying about it. I got, it was terrible, but I got home. I wake up the next morning, and my wife says, "You're on the Schuylkill, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." "What time did you get home?" I was like midnight. She's like, "They closed it at midnight. There was so much water, it was going over the Jersey barrier. That's how flooded this road was." I missed it by 30 minutes. Whatever this flood was, I missed it by 30 minutes.
I didn't realize you were that close. The timing was that close.
Yeah. So it was great. There is one very kind of cool story. Chris, I'm going to ask you that you post this picture in the show notes. I did link it in the the drive.
Yep, no problem.
So we're driving down to Maryland. We're in Delaware. And Mental, are you familiar with the Race of Gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes, the New Jersey Beach Wildwood race.
They run down the beach in old pre-war cars.
Yeah, pre-war cars that are totally bodiless. Yeah. So we're driving down and I see a lovely, you can all click on the picture in the show notes, a lovely Model T flathead V8 on a race car trailer with an orange and yellow dirt bike, old Harley. And I'm like, oh, that dude must be coming from the Race of Gentlemen. And I'm looking at the bike and I'm like, man, I've seen that motorcycle before. And we roll a little closer and the giant Ford pickup truck is maxed out. I can hear the turbos whining. I can tell it's got a lot of work on it. And it's got Texas plates. And I'm like, man, I know I've seen that motorcycle somewhere. I get a little closer, and the little tag on the camping thing says Kaufman on it. I'm waiting for Mental's reaction.
Oh, come on, Mental.
So Texas plates, Texas plates with a guy named Kaufman in a really cool motorcycle. We pull up, and it's Aaron frickin' Kaufman towing his gear back from the New Jersey Race of Champions. The bearded one is Aaron Kaufman. Yeah, the bearded one is driving. We give him a thumbs up. He gives us a wave, and I'm like, damn, I really love and respect that dude, and I'm feeling a little special.
And
there it is.
That's the thing. He stepped away from fame because it was getting in the way of his gearhead stuff, and he wanted to get back to doing gearhead stuff. I love that. And he towed him from Texas all the way up to Delaware.
Towed his frickin' bare-ass Model T, Model A, who knows what it is, from Texas with a motorcycle, and I don't know, his wife or something, and they partied their ass off in the Jersey Shore. There it is.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
We've had a lot of what we're working on because, frankly, it's been kind of busy since we talked to you guys last. So let's take a really brief look at how Lemon's High Plains did last weekend. We picked out some cars that we thought were interesting, and clearly by the results here, we are not good at picking the fast cars. We are good at picking the cars that we think are interesting and or fun. So I'll go through a couple of mine. First off, the winner was a 90 Integra of Return of the Junkers, that's the R2 detuned fire damage Integra. They won again, which is great.
Good for them.
The dirty, rotten, cheating bastards, we don't know how they're cheating in an 84 CRX. They came in 14th overall and second in C, so maybe they are cheating.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Because those guys, that's impressive.
Whoa. Second in C. That means something in C came better than second.
Listen
came
to this.
better
it is.
I don't even know what this car is. The fast lap of the race by 2 seconds was the C-Class winner.
What?
Yeah. The team is called the Petrosexuals. I don't know what kind of car it is. I don't know what it is. Matt, do you know?
No. We were traveling down here on a tour bus with Wi-Fi, so I was trying to keep up with the race, and I noticed, I'm like, how is a C-Class car? And at the time that I was checking on it, their fastest lap was the fastest lap of the race.
It was at the end, too.
So I'm guessing, I'm going with, it was probably some hideous engine swap that they're like, that's so blow-uppy, it's never going to make it.
Yeah, whatever it was, the damn thing, it sure as hell made it. And set the fast lap of the race in C. Who knew? So,
wow. I'm very interested in finding out what that is. Because, I picked all the crappy cars, and they all did crappily, as a matter of fact.
Me too.
Dreadnoughts, 76 Plymouth Arrow, 38th. Y'all, the Dodge Daytona, that was a Don frickin' Dockin, 56 overall. The Chevy S10.
Did you see, though, they got another one.
I see that,
celebrity Dodge Daytona.
And I tried to remember who it was. Ricky Schroeder, that was it. Sorry.
Schroeder.
Rick Schroeder. He's an adult now. You call him Rick. The 1991 Chevy S10 Team Crappa came in 53rd. Chris, are you ready for this? 1996 Mitsubishi 3000 GT of MST 3000, 17th overall.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
Amazing.
That means nothing.
Hats
you know what?
Those
it
guys.
got beat by an 84 CRX. So
I don't care. It survived.
Right?
We're good at picking people who are in the 50s, like Rude Deuce Grand Prix, 57th, Rocket Surgery, 54th. Waiting for Data and Nine Finger Drifters, those guys were 35th and 36th overall. That was great. Jerry Ringle and Inglorious Bastards, they were 52nd. That didn't turn out all that well for them. So, yeah.
I have some stuff, following the GDO, man. Apparently the Nine Finger Drifters were just eating fuel pumps. Like, they went through 3 fuel pumps.
So,
and I do have some comments. And folks, if you're listening to this with your kids, cover their ears, because I was talking to Jerry about Liz. And you know how much I love that car. So I typed, I said, what happened? And the first thing he types back is, that fat bitch. The tail shaft on the tranny started leaking, and we were killing every living bug between buyers and the track. Windage was a big factor in the merciless killing of the bugs, and that thing does have cooling and heating issues. So we dropped the exhaust, pulled the drive shaft, put another seal in, and went out. She lasted an hour, and it started it again. Then I noticed a vibration when I went in at the last stop checker. It was a front U-joint. So we sealed the caps a little, and it stopped the vibration, but it was still smoking. Tranny oil was dripping right onto the 2 mufflers. Found some sheet metal, made a saddle under the drive shaft to cause any oil to drip out behind the exhaust, and they were doing fine. But apparently also they've had a recent repave, and the track is as smooth as glass.
Oh.
So
and I'm sure the leaking oil had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Well, good times.
Yeah. Tires are cold. My tires are cold.
That's always
there
it.
It is.
Okay.
Chrissy, we are going so over. Why don't you go?
I'm just going to keep moving. So, other than Petty Cash was winning for a long time. They were so excited, and then they blew up on Sunday.
I was in their Corvette, yo.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Petty Cash got a Corvette? I didn't know that. Keep going. Oh, my God.
All right. We're done with lemons?
Yeah.
That's okay. So apparently in our previous show we said we are going to highlight WRL at Daytona. I couldn't find much about it. So or I was scrolling on I couldn't really find it. So if you're from WRL or know somebody who can reach out to us about it, we want to talk to them. We want to talk about them on our show because I think we think they're great and we would love to hear from them. So
and we are trying to get Joey Todd. Joey Todd's going to try and do a guest appearance on the show.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's move on. Guess what Sunday is? It's Father's Day. Did you remember that? You should know about that because you have a father that you like. Do you think that they would really like to go fast in a really cool car on a racetrack? And that is awesome. We have the thing for them. Extreme Experience puts you or your father in the driver's seat with some of the world's best supercars over 20 racetracks in America and Canada with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Head to xxspeed.com, choose your supercar, find a racetrack near you, and start making a story. 7 models of exotic cars and supercars for you to choose from. 20 tracks, 20 plus tracks year round in New Orleans. Pro instructors like Mental, Chris, and Jeff in the car with you. Somebody is breathing in there.
I think it might be the wind on my phone. Sorry.
Okay. Helping you explore the car's limits and teach you to drive the racing line. 25% off when you type in the code Everyone Racers No Speed at xxspeed.com. Book your speed, your fun thing today. Extreme experience. It's your turn or your father's turn.
Cool. Or your mother's turn. Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Hi. Right.
I just want to do something there. Let's get on with it. Main topic, racing with family. We're talking about Chrissy's family. We're talking about fathers. What a great time to do it. Some of us have decided for the silly, insane reason to mix business with pleasure or family with business or family with racing. Who knows what the answer is? What do you do with your family? Racing is a family-loving sport. Who does it? Let's talk about it. The ins, the outs, the ups and the downs. Chrissy, you're going to start because I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know if we can call this business. I mean, business with pleasure, I suppose. Okay, so I do not race with any Matoras, but I do race with my spouse. So one, isn't it, now you're like, okay, my domestic partner. Okay, whatever you are to me. One thing
she wants half, Eddie. She's getting half.
One thing to mention is that I didn't race without Chris. So Chris and I started with Jeff and Jim. We started the race team. We both previously had done track experiences like AutoX and driving schools, but not actually. So, not actually full weekend away from home kind of races. So I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. A day type thing, but not. We always do everything together. So most time it's fabulous. We love going places, especially when we travel to different states, different racetracks that our team doesn't usually go to. So that's freaking awesome. But there is some added pressure. So especially recently, since Chris is the fastest in the Honda, but I'm not going to limit it to all of fastest drivers, the pressure's on to go faster. So seconds matter, and I have been dealing with my own stress over the last year, trying to deal with one half being a teammate and a fast driver, and the other one is to make sure that all the pressure doesn't go to my head and our running relationship. So other than that, it's great. We both value feedback and like to improve and see each other improve. So if you don't have that kind of relationship, you may have that kind of problem. So that's what I got.
There it is.
How about you, Mental?
So, and I put this in the show notes. I don't get to race with family. The closest I ever came is I got my brother a ride in one of the XX lead cars. Brad Pines took him out in one of the Mitsubishi Evos. And for 2 months after that, every time I was leaving on an extreme trip, he'd call me to make sure that I was safe. Because according to him, it ain't right. That car should have slid off the road. It ain't supposed to be able to stick like that.
That's awesome.
Now, he's actually had some very bad accidents that weren't his fault. So he's actually got he's a little jumpy behind the wheel. And every time I go see him, he does put me in his 392 Charger and lets me go hoon it out. So we have a good time doing that. But he has no interest in being on a racetrack at all. My dad back in the day was a bit of a gearhead, and I did get him a couple of years ago, I got him a ride in an extreme experience car. And I took him out in the Porsche GT3 at Atlanta Motorsports Park, and he has never asked to go back ever. So no. Now my wife is not interested in racing at all, and when she finds, she loves the people that I race with. She loves you guys. She loves hanging out with you guys. Can't stand coming to the racetrack because it's hot, it's boring, and we all smell like tires. So
that's true.
If you have that kind of relationship and it's working, treasure that, because it's a very big part of my life, and I wish it was something I could share with my family.
Wow, there you go.
All right.
So I might have the most here. So my brother and I, Jim,
just shipped over Chris. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry, Chris was editing.
Whatever, I'm fine. Racing with Chrissy is great. It's really nice that we get to spend time together all the time, both doing our favorite hobby together. So really, we try not to compete with each other. We encourage each other and try to help each other get better. And it really is wonderful that we get to spend that time together. It's not a, oh man, they're going away, or phew, thank God they're going away this weekend. It's neither of those. We just enjoy actually spending the time together, and it really works. Here's a downside that a lot of people don't think about. We have no checks and balances in our house. Hey, do you want to go run this race? Yes, I do. Do you want to go buy an exotic car? Yes, I would. Thank you.
Hey, do you want to buy a trailer that I just found right now? I have to go buy it right now. Do you want it?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That happened on Thursday.
Yep.
This happened.
Right. Like, do you want to run this
honey,
HPDE? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Hey, honey, you know how it's storming really, really bad? We need to loan our friend our truck and trailer so that he can go buy another bad race car.
Another race car? Yes.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
So there's the highs and lows. It's wonderful that we get to spend so much time together. The lows are, there's no stopping it. Really, that's it. On the side of family, though, actually a few years ago, I gave my mom a ride on testing day in the old Honda Waggo van we had for a few laps in New Hampshire a few years back. So, taking someone out of their element like that, I had to just say to her, look, just trust me, I do this a lot.
Don't scream.
Don't scream, and let me know if you're going to be sick so I can stop. That's
and
it.
she did all of those.
She did.
She didn't get sick.
Nope.
She was quiet. She held on. It was. Yep. I think she had a pretty good time.
That's it. But thinking about family at the track, though, this is something that we've had to learn. If you're going to have family come visit you at the track, you need to set appropriate expectations for that family that's visiting you about what's going to be happening at the track, what's going on, what you're going to be doing, where your priorities are, where they can and cannot go, and how long they might want to be there, all that kind of thing. Everyone will be happier if you set those expectations ahead of time. So, we've seen other people too. Their families come, they bring their RVs, they expect everyone's going to eat dinner with them. Where some of these guys are like, well, I'd actually like to go walk around and talk to my race friends and stuff. But no, they're kind of expected to hang out with the family there, and that's not really what they want.
The car's broke and we've got to do an engine swap
right.
tonight.
Things like that. So, if your family's going to come want to watch your race, you're probably better off limiting it to certain times and make sure you're setting appropriate expectations for family. So that really, because they're out of their element too, they need to know what to expect. Be fair to them, and everyone will have a better time. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely happened to me. Josh is at the point where he kind of wants to join us at the race, but not yet at the point where he can be left alone or take care of himself and things and not get run over. I mean, Daddy, can I go to the bathroom? Yes, you come right back. It's kind of, we're in that range. He's 9. So, we're trying to get him in, but I'm mirroring my own experience because my brother and I grew up in the back of my father's rally car. We have been a gearhead family since the day we were born. My father has always had sports cars. By sports cars, I mean little tiny hatchbacks that he hoons the hell out of on, whatever he needs to do. He's an SCCA rallyist. He has been autocrossing since before my brother was born. My brother is, half a century.
Just like you're gonna just go out there.
Yeah. So anyway, so my brother and I has been my rally partner and race team partner for every year that we have ever raced a rally. So like the Babe Rally, SCCA Rally, we've always been together doing it. So I mean, we have other interests. He autocrossed. I never really did. He was an SCCA board member. It was without me. I instruct without him. So not like Chris and Chrissy there. They've only done it together. But, this is kind of our thing. And, where it really helps is the fun adventures. We picked up the New Z together. We did the Junker rallies together. It'd be odd for me to do, the Lemons rally without him. We complement each other's level of competitiveness. He's a thinker. I'm a doer.
Which is great. I love to put you both on a project. As both of you sit under the car.
Yeah,
he talks about the theory,
done.
and you talk about how to do it. Right.
And we'll diagram and twist and think and
think.
And I'm
it
like,
ends up working great. Right.
Cut stuff. And he's like, yeah. No. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's, we complement each other. And so we've also been able to support each other during financial hardships. There was a couple years where every dollar in the race team from me was his dollar. and every dollar from him was my dollar. So that was it kept us racing because of that. So, without getting mad or feeling bad, we're, able to do this. My father is down. We've been able to leverage the parents' RV, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And he used to attempt to get involved. He attended a few races. He was going to do a stint in a car that I rented for him. He got a little too freaked out with the enclosed cage, worried about getting in and out of the car. So he's kind of like, I'm not going to go with you guys anymore. Decided it was a young man's game. It may have been the drinking and mohawk cutting that was happening in the paddock. But the Miata project is so he can go to track days and autocross. Period. He wants to do it. He wants to be involved. He knows it's not on a racetrack, but it's going to be in timed events. Mensa, you got something?
Well, and that was the first race that I raced with all you guys was at Summit Point over Father's Day weekend.
Yeah,
and
actually,
your
like
dad
right now.
came out, and that was kind of his. He actually took that as a gift. He's like, "No, this is a great Father's Day. I get to hang out at the racetrack doing some of my favorite stuff with my sons."
Yeah, there it is.
And he got over it after that.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
It's like,
and
oh, this is what you do.
That was the Mohawk weekend.
Summit Point,
Summit
man. It
Point
was like,
races.
it was
Caligula.
Seriously.
Hyperfest Joe.
But he has also come to some Jersey races and helped
Yep,
out at some Jersey races. But like I said, I think it got old quick because we don't really have crew. Everybody there is taking a stint in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel out of place if you're not taking a shift. So, yeah. But he still gives us the RV, and now I live close to my brother, and it makes it easier because, we can try and get projects done, and he can zip over to my house for just an afternoon and drop something off, or, the vinyl cutting or whatever. We can, get together and do it. So there it is. Yeah. But, I'll be honest, nothing can annoy you like your family. So sometime you're going to have to take a step back and breathe a little. Especially when you have a crappy weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there it is. I freely admit, when I'm spending an entire weekend with my brother in a Miata, I take a couple days off after that. And I'm sure he's taking a couple days off from my loud ass too. So there it is.
And honestly, the sunscreen industry needs that time to recover because the two of you guys in a convertible car will get more sunscreen than you gasoline while the two of you guys are driving around.
Says the guy with the t-shirt tan today.
Yes, but I have had during one of those Lemons rallies like my windshield covered with sunscreen because they're just squirting it on themselves as they drive with no top in their Miata.
That was true.
Yeah. All right.
So there's family racing with family. We already did some of the listener feedback, so we want to thank the Egans. Who else gave us listener feedback on this?
Didn't we
Dave and
have
Aaron.
listener feedback about folks that they've come to different conclusions about racing with family?
I forgot Craigers. Yeah, Craigers gave us feedback that he and his dad and Kurt and Charlie all started Terminally Confused. They raced together. They had two cars, and eventually they decided they were not going to be good teammates. They weren't getting along as teammates, and they were better off as competitors. They're still helping each other. They help each other build. If someone of them needs to help, they'll go ask. But it's different it being in that sort of position than just yelling at each other because their goals were different. And that's really what it came down to. It was goals. But they were smart and mature and figured out that because they had different goals, they were better off doing slightly different things. And it's all much better now and all well and good, and everyone's happy about it. So be honest with yourself about if you're in this for the same thing. Don't force it just because you're family. You can still help each other, but you don't have to be the same team. So you can each do what you need to do. Good feedback from Craigers.
All right.
Different point of view.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for the good of the order before we move on to the lucky week? It is this week. We are getting exactly what we all want.
I guess so.
Tip.
Okay, so we are talking about being safe while working outside yard work.
Like taking down trees.
Gee, why are you talking about this one?
Well, so we're really highlighting this because we're doing a bunch of stuff to fit our trailer, and we had to cut some trees down. But also, I had a conversation with a coworker who actually works in safety, and she was not actually doing some things the most safe way. So I said, it's kind of all over the place. Everybody with nice weather, we're going outside. So the answer is be smart. Chances are you know what's right and wrong. Just sometimes you just might make a silly mistake. So these are all pretty obvious, but good reminders. No flip-flops. Just wear sneakers at least. I love flip-flops just as much as the next guy, but I will stop to put my yard shoes on before I walk out and do stuff in flip-flops.
And she has a few pairs, too.
I do, and everybody's okay with them except for you. So it keeps my feet clean, and it makes it harder to stub your toes or cut them off, and then and no bug bites on your ankles, and it's an extra layer of stuff to protect your feet. Make sure you wear gloves. If you have mechanics, use them. Gardening gloves are cheap. Just put them on, and then keep your hands clean and then less impaling. Ladder safety. So we had some ladder safety going on this week. Jeff was helping to keep the ladder safe while Chris was standing on it, chainsawing some branches off the tree. So just have someone stand by. If you don't have someone, get a rope, ratchet strap, I don't know, something to make it so that if it falls over, you're not going to be stranded or falling down with it. And don't stand on the top either.
Especially with a chainsaw.
All of this is good. Make sure you're wearing glasses, ideally safety glasses, but if you just wear glasses, that's something. Get the cheap ones on Amazon. Or every time you go to Lowe's, get a new one. This is just like Jeff's Johnny Appleseed. Get one, right, and then just leave them everywhere, and then you have them everywhere. So if you think it's annoying, this is this is why I stay safe. If I think this is annoying, think of what would happen if you got a stick, rock, dirt, metal, something in your eye. How much would that suck? Wear glasses.
That'd suck.
Especially if you're at the top of a ladder and you have to climb down with a chainsaw.
Something like that. So be smart, wear your PPE, and maybe this is a great thing to ask your father. Ask for Father's Day. If you're a father, maybe you need some new PPE. Some new glasses, some new gloves. Can't hurt. So
hip trust.
There it is.
Fantastic.
There it is. That's
safe.
a great safety tips. I'd like to mention that when Chris was doing the chainsaw over my head, and I was getting rained on by the sawdust, but I was standing on the bottom ladder, holding, with my hand up on the small of Chris's back in case he fell. I said, "Look, Chrissy, we're doing safe things." And she looked over like, "Yeah, sure. Okay, next." I really tried. I wasn't
even juggling chainsaws yet.
I know.
We only have one to juggle.
Yeah, that's why it's easier.
You said holding him up the small of the back, but we both know you were caressing his buttocks.
I wasn't, because he wasn't that high. All right. So I think we've reached the end of the show. I think we've talked about everything we can, except we have so much more to talk about. Next week, we've decided that we're going to talk about evaluating or picking the next race car. Why? Because we just picked the next race car.
That's
right.
Great idea.
Exactly. But we're going to talk a little bit about some of the different series, about what the rule sets mean, and what makes an overdog or an underdog, and what's good, what's bad, what's different about some of the different series that we're talking about. So there it is. Anything else? Anybody else want to add anything?
I would say, folks, if you've got some inputs on some decisions that you make to pick your race car.
We don't want to hear it.
Or if you actually wish you had done some things to pick your race car, get a hold of us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Find us at everyoneracers at Twitter and Instagram, or like most of you guys do, just throw it up on the old Facebook page. We're starting to see a lot of activity on that, and we really appreciate it. Appreciate the show's feedback. We're trying to make it better, and next episode will be Big 4-0, won't it?
Yep, and all of you who are saying, what the hell did you buy? We waited, so you will now see pictures of the clickety-clackety-Z on the Instagrams and the Twitters and everything else. So thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this special edition with Mental Out and Sweatville. Subscribe, write to us. I think we said everything we need to. So thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up, unless it's yellow or have gold teeth, and then just keep the wheels down.